Grofers, a brand that entered the industry in 2014, is already making waves in the online grocery space. Started by two civil engineers from IIT, Saurabh Kumar and Albinder Dhinsa, Grofers over the last 2 years has seen a tremendous growth trajectory. Considering the general business climate wherein a lot of giants and your rivals are shutting down the online grocery business, what is your incentive of staying in this field and that too keeping this as your core business?
Online grocery business, right? I mean, the opportunity space is huge. Anyone who is going to be focused on this and is trying to solve the problems that exist in this market, right? The problems on the supply side of it. If you are going to be attacking those problems, and it is going to take time. With like limited number of players, we also have that much more bandwidth to actually go and attack the problems that exist.
So you have built a very successful national brand in Grofers. What were your challenges as an entrepreneur, right from the stage wherein you conceived the idea to here now when Grofers is one of the largest players in the online grocery business?
Basically, for us, the biggest challenge was convincing the merchants, the offline merchants, to come online and start selling online. Another challenge that we faced was basically hiring delivery boys in masses, right? So hiring them, convincing them to come to our platform, start working with us was another challenge.
But you registered a very steep rise in a very short span of time. And when you scale up your operations at such a fast pace, there's a scope for failures if your operations are not integrated very well into the system. So how did you tackle this particular challenge in your business?
As a young company, we are always trying too many things. Some of them go right, some of them go wrong. We look at each of the things that we do, we look at them as small projects. Some of them work, some don't. We continue experimenting, but at the same time, you will go wrong.
Well, considering what has been happening in the online grocery ecosystem, it seems like it's only the players with the deeper pockets who have a long way to go. Would you agree to this?
So for us, it's important that whatever we want to do, we try it out first in a smaller scale. We do run smaller experiments, and once we know that, okay, this is something that's going to work, we spend heavily on those. So I don't think deeper pockets is going to win this. The company that's going to win it is the one who fixes the problems and the inefficiencies that exist in the market.
So you registered a very quick growth in the initial journey of Grofers, and then there came a phase wherein you started consolidating your operation, then you moved out of few cities. Now, keeping the investment climate and the online grocery business climate in mind, what is a way forward for Grofers?
I mean, right now we are going through a phase where the city that we are in, I mean, we are consolidating in those cities, making sure that we win these cities, right? I mean, there are different phases. I mean, it's never that, okay, we'll only consolidate. I mean, unless you have a big enough market, you are not going to consolidate, right? Right now we are in the phase where we are worrying about the market that we are in, consolidating in those markets, but eventually you will expand as well, right?
Grofers partners with local merchants such as chemists, bakeries, grocery shops, organic food retailers, and laundry services to help them deliver their goods at the required destination. With low margins per transaction and a highly competitive market, Grofers has managed to carve a niche for itself. So how easy or difficult it was for you to convince the investors to invest in your venture and raise the initial round of funding for Grofers?
So when we started, we were actually looking to build a B2B business which was revenue generating, and we were actually able to cover our expenses, so we never went and looked for funding. We got approached by Sequoia Capital. They asked us, if we wanted to raise capital, and we were like, sure, that would make our lives a lot more easier.
So Grofers has registered a pretty steep rise and has become a national brand in a very short span of time. What kind of business strategies did you use to take Grofers to such heights?
I think two biggest factors for us was we really started paying attention very early on to the customer experience that was happening on the platform, right? And we were still sort of very, very focused around making sure that it's a great customer experience. The other was our focus more on the technology and the product side of things. We were always very particular that we wanted our product to be the best out in the market and sort of not be just, putting out an average product and expecting the customer to attach to it.
In order to sustain yourself in the online grocery business and beat the competition, you generally tend to give a lot of discounts, and that definitely burns a lot of cash. So how are you sustaining yourself in such a money guzzling business?
Last year, the market was such, there was a lot of competition, there were a lot of companies that were trying to get into this segment, and this was being built up. So you saw a lot of prevalence of discounts, and we participated in that. However, since November, we have pretty much moved away from it. there are a number of reasons. I think we've hit enough scale that we no longer need to do it, and all the offers and everything that we run on the platform now are actually coming from either retailers or they're coming from the brands themselves. However, we are investing in technology, we are investing in supply chain, and these are bets that we hope 6 to 8 months down the line will actually give us better margins, give us better profitability.
From an employee strength of 180 people last year, the company has grown to a whopping 2,000 people currently. With an aim to make people's shopping experience from local merchants easy and pleasant, their steady growth rate clearly boasts of a massive scale for any company to achieve in such a short span of time.